player. Pinakasin ang mukha. Pumayos ka nga. Sabi ng kasama ko, kamukha mo daw yung niligtas niya nung baha. Palutang-lutang ka daw, nakita niya nakakapit ka sa daga. Sa sobrang lakas ng agos, tuluyan na siyang pinangalinong bakla. Tarantado! Totoo ba? Niligtas mo daw yung kasama ko? Pili mo ng hero ko, bay? Ang totoo niya, tinagaw mo lang yung red book na nakasakay. 2026, 2027 NBA season is rapidly approaching, and the schedule for the upcoming season starts to be revealed in less than 17 hours, beginning with the slate for opening week and Christmas Day. So these are our spine senses, right? In traditional we can expect to see the New York Knicks raising a banner on opening night. Reigning champions, they win almost 80% of the time on opening night of the following season, and the Knicks are 2-0 in those games. But reigning MVP Shea Alexander played again on opening night. SGA scored 35 points in a double overtime win against Houston last season. That was a fun game. The first time a reigning MVP had played on opening night in 10 seasons. And nobody has played more season openers than LeBron James, who's back for a 20-point season. His first with the 76ers. LeBron has scored the most points in season openers in NBA history, and he has a losing record in those games that were 8 and 14. Will the tides turn? Hall of Famer Mark Spears, our senior writer for Anscape, DBJ, David Dennis Jr., Dave McMenamin, our senior writer. I am Malika Anderson. In just a matter of hours, we're going to be able to go on to ESPN.com. We're going to be able to click over to the schedule tab, and we will know exactly who's playing on opening night. But that hasn't happened yet. So when the league kicks off on October 20th, what, Mr. Spears, is the one game that you're going to want to see?
Come on now, we know what it is. It's the champs, the Knicks, against New Yorker LeBron James and the Sixers.
New Yorker LeBron James.
In Madison Square Garden. Good luck, Sixers fans, getting tickets to this. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's the first time they've raised a banner since 1973. Every celeb it's going to be in the building that you can think of. And, you know, for LeBron and the Sixers, they got a chance to do the dream, too. Try to get their first championship since 1983. So MSG is going to be the place to be.
I feel you. I mean, look, the Eastern Conference has taken a lot of the headlines in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
With LeBron, with Boston, with Jaylen Brown, also. Let's not forget that maybe the two best teams are in the Western Conference with San Antonio and OKC. That matchup is the one that I want to see on opening night.
Which city, though?
Put in San Antonio. They won. You got to. They I want as many games as possible. They won 7. I want it more. I want them on opening night.
Opening night, not Christmas?
I want it opening night. I want, because there's so many questions I want right out the gate. I want to see how Chet responds. Everybody talking about it, getting his lunch money too by Wemby. I want to see what J-Dub comes back with. He was hurt. I want to see what De'Aaron Fox does when he comes back. Everybody's talking about how his finals were. The Spurs are now the hunted. They were the surprise last year. I want to see how these two teams come out the gate.
I love them both, but I'm going to double down on Mark's pick because I just think that when LeBron came back to Cleveland the first time, or I guess the second time, I should say,
Right.
He said this is going to be one of the biggest sporting events ever. The spectacle of him returning to the game. And guess what? They played the Knicks, and he lost. But now he has this final chapter of his career going to Madison Square Garden, his favorite place to play on ring night, and maybe get a chance to even up that opening night record. I mean, it's still going to be 9-14 if he gets the win, but I think that's the most scintillating matchup.
Yeah, I like that one, but I'm with DDJ. Give me that Western Conference Finals rematch. I want to see that one again and again and again. I'm so glad that we're going to get to see it four times over the course of
Natatakot nga si Randa rin. Lumalayo siya eh.
Pinapabot
ko lumalayo siya. Pero okay na.
Christmas slate games. We're going to do a whole list or that. Who would you rather still play on Christmas? And we're going to start right there with LeBron James and the Philadelphia 76ers because they could play Jaylen Brown's old squad or LeBron James could square off against the Lakers. DDJ, which one would you rather see?
I want to see Philadelphia and Boston. Like, I mean, the Lakers, LeBron and Luka, they still all kind of like each other. So like, the vibes with Jaylen Brown and Tatum on the court together.
Yeah.
In Boston, hopefully in Boston, it's going to be just, it is going to feel like Game 7 playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd like to stay in Los Angeles for Christmas Day.
I like you here.
That's a little bit of a
morning. So, Dave, would you rather see them in a finals rematch against the Spurs or maybe Tyrese Halliburton, the Pacers back healthy?
I was going to be the finals rematch.
Yeah.
I think that was such a classic finals. You talk to people who cover the league for a long time. It's the best 5-game series they can ever remember.
Yeah.
And so let's make it game 6.
All right.
Christmas Day.
So let's say the Spurs aren't playing the Knicks on Christmas. Would you rather see a big man matchup, Wemby facing Nikola Jokic in Denver, or the Heat and Bam Adebayo?
I want to see him and Wemby go at it. Those are very, very underrated matchups that don't happen too often and still won't, but I want to see the two duos go at it.
You think Miami's going to get a Christmas Day matchup? I mean, I guess with Giannis and
right?
Probably will, but
they don't want to see the Bucks. So.
All right, how about this one? This one may be a little bit unorthodox, but you mentioned the power shift. We're talking so much about the East, and the Warriors are projected to be under 500. So, do you still think, DDJ, that we're going to see them on Christmas?
Yeah, you got to see Stephen Curry on Christmas Day. Like, it has become a Christmas tradition to see him. But you got to have LeBron, KD, Steph. This is how you see them on their way out. I don't just want to see Steph on Christmas. Give me Warriors, Rockets, Steph, and KD.
Warriors, Rockets on Christmas.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. And both those guys, they're the people that have carried this league for so long.
All right, so this is how the schedule, we're again just hoping and wishing. This is the actual rollout schedule. Starting tomorrow, opening week Christmas Day games are going to be announced on Good Morning America with me. And Wednesday is going to be the NBA Cup schedule. Thursday will be the rest of the season with full coverage and reaction right here on NBA Today at 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2.
With the look at LeBron James, you can only guess is what his future holds. Nobody has any idea what his future holds, and I don't either. I'll take time to recalibrate, see what's best for my future. To that point, I don't know.
Breaking news, LeBron James has made his decision. He is headed to the Philadelphia 76ers.
The Sixers were not even in the picture. We're not on the map until Bob Myers went out there and traded for Jaylen Brown. The fact that he chose Philadelphia from a basketball standpoint, it makes all the sense in the world. We are all deep down the video game rabbit hole at Game Range. We are all addicted to various games. And we're going to talk about it. Hi folks, it's Falcon. Join the 1% Club with the button below to get the Falcon show exclusively every weekend. Today on Game Range, 20 games we are hopelessly addicted to right now. Let's start off with one from Jake at number 20. It's Sorrows. So most roguelikes are easy games for a reason. Small developers can't really afford to let the scope of a project exceed their limitations, and roguelikes are a uniquely good genre for squeezing as much playtime as possible out of a relatively limited number of assets. Sorrows, kind of the opposite of that, though. Jake has been digging deep into the mysteries of Sorrows, a big-budget roguelike shooter with insane graphics that runs like absolute butter on PS5. It's one of the most impressive technical achievements of the system, and unfortunately, one of the very few reasons to turn your PS5 on right now. Sorrows is a bigger, badder Returnal. The bosses are bigger, the story is somehow even more abstract. You're trapped on another alien planet with incredibly satisfying combat, and we're doing all those replays because this game is incredibly fun. Jake is a games reviewer, so he rarely has time to play through the post-game, but this game has him coming back repeatedly. It's hard to say what game popularized putting realistic characters into completely unrealistic gameplay, but Sorrows is maybe one of the better examples of it. You got some pretty realistic-looking person doing a double jump a lot, and we're kind of all there for it. The gameplay takes cues from bullet hell shooters with giant colorful balls of light, which you can need to dodge, and more games need to steal that sort of thing. We're all still slowly working our way through the true ending of Sorrows, so it definitely counts as a hopeless addiction. Maybe more hopeless for Jake than any of us, though.
Moving on to number 19. This is mine, Subnautica 2. It's an early access session that I can't help but keep coming back to. I don't usually have time to dig deep into survival crafting, but Subnautica 2 really scratches the itch for an early access game. Like, there's a lot to do. It's also, like, way more polished than the vast majority of early access games. So a lot of content, and it's good content. It looks good. Swimming feels great. Building a beautiful underwater base is kind of gold. It feels good. What makes this game feel different from other sandbox games is just the underlying mystery pushing the story forward. You always have another goal to reach, of course, until you run out of them and the early access is done. But there's an alien civilization to discover, new depths to explore, more materials to collect. There's a list of attainable goals to chase. The story moves at a pace that's easy to follow. And I'm generally playing solo just because I kind of just prefer Subnautica 2 that way. I am really ready for content beyond the early access endpoint. Like, after an insanely rocky development, though, Subnautica turned out way better than any of us could have imagined. They're patiently waiting.
Hindi ako mamimili. Ayun, pera. Yung 1,000, bigay ni Ina yan.
Hindi mo bibigay, ma'am. Bibigay mo lang ng pera.
And number 18 is an Eric special, the Gothic 1 remake. You cannot separate them from this. It's a game that is designed to beat you down and build you back up again. It's a modernized version of Gothic, of course. It takes away some of the insane combo controls, but honestly sticks really close to the design of the original game. The taverns might look a little more detailed, the fog isn't as heavy, but it's Gothic. You're still stuck on a prison island where guards are shaking you down for cash the first 5 seconds. It's kind of an in-depth simulation of a place that doesn't exist, a fantasy prison island surrounded by level. The inmates have formed different gangs, and all of them suck in different ways. The old camp is, of course, the worst, where goons demand protection money the moment you walk through the doors. If you don't pay, you'll genuinely regret it, too. Going to the wrong part of the island, it's death sentence. The opening game is absolutely brutal. Learning to navigate the lowest leads is some pretty awesome highs, however. Eric didn't really get to play the original Gothic, and I'll say it's what sold me on Chronobytes. Unfortunately, later titles from them I very much didn't like. But it's a classic, and I'm psyched for Eric that he gets to be hopelessly addicted to a remake that works significantly better than the original.
Law and order don't come cheap. Right, which is why I'm kindly asking you to chip in. Let's call it a gentleman's agreement. You watch our backs, we'll watch yours. And if any of these nasty bastards so much as look at you wrong, we'll kick their asses all the way to Northmar and back. So, what do you say?
And number 17, Kevin is addicted to Splatoon Raiders. He can't stop raiding. He's gone raid crazy. This looks like a simple Nintendo shooter, right? You play through levels, fight fish dudes, collect new weapons for your loadout. Normal playthrough takes about 14 hours for each standing credits. The problem is everything that comes after. Once you're done with the final boss, a new challenge unlocks at the bottom of the fight. This is a huge dungeon with 100 different levels of increasingly difficult salmonids. This is where the hopeless addiction sets in. At this point in the game, guns just aren't good enough. Leveling up will not help you. The only way to win is ruthlessly grinding extremely difficult missions and praying for 5-star weapon drops. Top tier guns can be upgraded indefinitely, and it costs a lot of in-game packs. Grinding is the name of the game here, and really none of us can crack level 50 at this point. Like, look at the gameplay. Splatoon Raiders really didn't need to go this hard. You gotta be locked in, like, Doom Eternal master levels here. What is even going on? You'll die in a split second if you aren't perfectly juggling your gadgets. It's hard out on them streets being a squid, or a kid, or whatever. And number 16 is Megabonk. This is a particular Jake favorite here. We are all big fans of Vampire Survivors here, but a lot of the clones don't really do a lot for us, except for one. Jake has been addicted to Megabonk for a good reason. It's a bullet heaven game that gives you 3D movements instead of the usual flat 2D plane. It sends waves of infinite enemies after you, and your attacks come out automatically. So basically what you're doing is running around while your hero does all the work. The movement
Kaya ko. Mami nga. Pati yung flavor, yung kakaya. Yung mga ano, yung tingnan mo.
Are you really sure you're well enough? You can stay as long as you like.
I'm fine, really.
I think you should stay a bit longer.
Game of the motor. I can start dragging.
Follow me.
Dito nila kinuha yung dragon na nilagay nilang mod sa sa Hogwarts Legacy. Paano wala kasing dragon doon? Yung mga PC player, tangin na mahilig mag-edit. In-edit nila yung dragon dito, nilagay nila ron. Kaya hindi po pa Sony na ibigay yung mga laro nila sa iba. Sa mga PC, kasi nga in-edit na. Naglalagay ng mga mod. Ito iba, kamukha ni Shrek. Lagay yung mga PC player ngayon.
I'll be going now.
Very well. If you're heading into town, you should stop by the Hernand's Tavern. News travels fast around here, so
Magawa lang ng mga...
if there's any information to be found, you'll find it there.
You got and hired a free sword?
I'll take care of this. Look, I already paid you.
We're here for the interest.
What interest?
Hey, kid, come here. Just
If
pay
you
up
could
and there
just-
won't be any trouble.
Oi,
We're not asking, we're telling.
we'll beat the interest out of you. Or make your maps go up in flames. Your choice. What are you gawking at?
Don't you fucking know?
Today will be your last.
Actually,
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Thank you. It's not the first time those bastards have laid into me. Things had got so bad, I was ready to pack up and leave. But they got what was coming to them. All thanks to you.
Where are you headed then?
Truth is, I'm also headed to Hernand. Can I tag along? Let's set off. On foot, it won't take long to reach Hernand. But if you want to get to town quickly, we should ride there. You could ride with me, but I recently came across this wild horse. He won't let me ride him, but maybe he'll take a liking to you. What's that look for? Hernan used to be one of the nicest places to live. But with those bandits about, you're always looking over your shoulder.
It's that bad.
It's worse than ever now. The guard's been stretched thin, and it's impossible to keep the peace. It's us ordinary folk who are paying the price.
Hiya.
Now this here is one of my favorite spots. The view from the bridge is absolutely breathtaking.
Ano yan? Short pa yan, baka mahulog yan ha. Pero din mo na lang ang tinignan.
Mechanics, however, are a ton of fun, and the characters make this one worthy of addiction. Unlocking the skeleton on a skateboard proves this clone is a cut above the rest. Megabonk is like the ultimate time waster game. It's always at the top of your Steam library, ready to go on the Steam Deck for a quick session mayhem. You're always making progress on something, unlocking a new character or leveling up. It's simple enough to be an idle game you can enjoy casually, but with enough mechanics that it's going to keep you busy. Basically, the perfect addiction game, and plenty of us at Game Rates have been hooked for an unreasonable amount of time. And number 15 is Scott Pilgrim DX. As you might guess, this is a Falcon one. The first Scott Pilgrim game basically revived the beat-em-up genre for modern gaming, and Scott Pilgrim DX is somehow better than that game. Now, I've seen the movie, I like the movie, I have read some of the comics, but if I'm frank, I don't really care a whole lot. Probably my favorite piece of Scott Pilgrim media, up until Scott Pilgrim DX, was the original Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game. Now it's Scott Pilgrim EX. EX basically follows up the first game by giving us a big open world city to explore, kind of like River City Ransom, if you've ever played that, well beyond the scope of River City Ransom. But you also got the mini missions through portals that you can jump into. They changed the gameplay with fresh gimmicks. It's a game that I just do not understand the lack of attention it has gotten by the gaming community as a whole. This game is sitting
It's very positive, granted, but with 433 reviews. This is the follow-up to Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game that revived the beat-em-up genre. And it's better than the original game. Like, the genre is the king of video game arcades for a good reason. We wouldn't have Streets of Rage 4, Shredder's Revenge, or Absalom without the Scott Pilgrim game. This game deserves a second chance. Like, go buy it. It's not an expensive game, and it's more than worth it. I'll tell you one of my favorite things about going to a 76ers game. It's the song. You know, the one, the 1, 2, 3, 76ers, that one. But with LeBron James and Jaylen Brown joining Tyrese Maxey, BJ Edgecombe, and Joel Embiid, there's going to be so much more than just a big three out in Philadelphia, because you see this behind me, right? The Sixers, their projected starting five averaged a staggering 120 points per game last season. Actually more. Only the Nuggets and the Heat scored more points as a team in a game last season. So that's wild. But you know what else is kind of wild? Look back at this. You see this photo, right? This is of LeBron James. See him there back in 2001. But the guy next to him, that's where the runner-up to LeBron for Ohio's Mr. Basketball voting was none other than the new 76ers president of basketball operations. Yeah, over there. That's
Grabe. Grabe si Lebron, puta. Hindi mo.
like Gansey. And while Gansey, he's not going to need any time to get to know LeBron. Our Kevin Nagandi took him to get to know Philadelphia a little bit better. Hi. Welcome to Philadelphia. It's your first week officially here in the city. I thought, what better way than to have a proper cheesesteak? Ready for that? All right, let's go.
Pwede, boss.
How did the Jaylen Brown trade go down? What were the Celtics initially asking for? Well, obviously Jalen's a huge piece to them, so they were asking for a lot, and I think we did give up a lot in this deal. Paul's still a really good player. We gave him some valuable picks, but Jaylen Brown was Finals MVP, second team All NBA, one of the best players in the NBA. So they were rightfully to ask for a lot. So the wheels are in motion. You get Jaylen Brown. What kind of role did that move have in landing LeBron James? Yeah. Without getting Jaylen, I don't think we get LeBron. Obviously Jaylen's one of the best players in the league, and to get him onto the roster with Tyrese, with DJ, with Joel, and then some of the free agents we got, obviously before all this, it changed the game for us. Take us through the entire LeBron process. You're on the phone with him. He's on the phone with Bob. He's on the phone with ownership. Yeah, I mean, obviously after the Jaylen trade, LeBron was still out there, and we just said, hey, let's try to put a full court press. Like everyone reach out, sell him on Philly. I think if he comes, he can be the missing piece, and we can be really good. What was it like for you waiting? What was that process like? It was exciting, nerve-wracking, because you're like, at some point it's like, man, just make a decision, but obviously we wanted to give him his space, which he rightfully so deserves, and obviously we're very, very excited that he chose us, and he waited as long as he could, but I'm just glad he 76ed it. What was it like when you got the phone call? I get a text from Rich, with our group chain, with our ownership, Tyrese and Bob, and he said, Sixers it is, congrats, and I was like, whoa, and it was a surreal moment, so a moment I'll definitely remember forever. LeBron's role here in Philadelphia, what will that be on this team? I mean, LeBron's a connector. That's the one thing about him. He fits every role he possibly can. He's going to elevate everyone in the whole building. I know that much. How do you see Joel fitting in here with LeBron? It's funny, too. When LeBron was maybe a possibility, I went back and watched some of the Olympic tape, with him and LeBron. Yeah, those two played pretty well together. So I think Joel, it's like we have so many different options. I mean, any given night, anyone can be the guy. So I think once we get clicking and get gelling, it's gonna be fun to watch. And by the way, the cheesesteaks, they're here. My man Joe. All right, I can't wait. Oh. And the pizza. Oh, this is big time. This is legit. It's just perfect. What is it? This is excellent. It's fantastic, but it's not as good as your all season so far. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we see what you did there, Kevin. We see what you did there. There's a lot to unpack, and not just the fact that my in-laws be so. I've never had a full Philly cheesesteak. I've had like a bite of Philly cheesesteak, but I think we're going to be spending a lot of time in Philadelphia. But one of the things that stood out to me was Mike Ganzi saying that Joel Embiid is extra motivated here. What does that look like? I know you've been speaking to people around the organization, Dave.
Mike took the job in May, right? Took over for longtime president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey. One of the initial conversations he had with Joel was Joel telling him, I want to play a lot of games next year, and I want to get back to the all-NBA version of Joel. And obviously, the motivation has only spiked since adding LeBron to the fore. Part of the conversation that Joel was having with LeBron and trying to recruit him there was telling him, I'm healthy. And you can see from the images, clearly he's shedding weight. Like, he's been in the gym a lot. And this is a huge season for him. Really, this is in my opinion, is the biggest opportunity he's had.
And it's you versus him, you versus her, you versus him, and it's the same thing, and there's no backstory. Now, this may not get the most views. There's certain people like Hitman Moose that are probably going to get more views than me versus Disaster, but in battle rap history, there's never been a more requested and highly anticipated battle, and a battle that took this long to happen. This has been going on for well over a decade, and you got to think of the mega matches people still want, Surf, Moose, all of that stuff people have been talking for maybe 5 to 7 years, but you could even date back to like 12 to 15 years people have been waiting for this. So there will never be a battle this anticipated on any side of battle rap. And I hope that anyone watching it, whether some people are fans of, URL, CBL, King of the Dot, if you all just understand how important this battle is, I really feel like people would really give it the respect it deserves.
Honestly, I have no idea who this guy is.
This battle is a big battle because if you look at the King of the Dot Mount Rushmore, it's going to have Pat State on it, it's going to have Disaster on it, it's going to have myself, and then probably Bender on it or Kid Twist. So in terms of alumni and people that were here from the jump, and, me and Disaster are the last two people of this Rushmore era of King of the Dot, the people that built this thing, the biggest names involved in it that could still battle. And it's one of those that had a build-up for years, a storyline of me calling him out and him having his excuses, whether they're valid or not. He can let you know why he didn't battle me. I think that it has a history, and this is one of those battles where people that have tuned out, let's say for 5 years, they're messaging me saying like, I don't watch battle rap anymore, but I'm watching you in Disaster. And there's not any other battle on this card that has that effect.
And it's got to the point where, people are starting to say I was ducking it and all this shit, but you actually think about it. If I took Sharon back then, he would have been way easier than to take now. It makes no sense to lose ducking him because I'm taking him at his strongest. This is the only time in history he could have ever had the ability to kill someone like me or just kill a battle rapper, period.
Disaster's energy is a double-edged sword because it can work for him or it can work against him. For me, I'm cool, calm, collected. I try to keep my composure the whole battle. He'll hit higher peaks, but his energy usually just diminishes near the end. And I think for me, it's a marathon, and I'm going to just be very consistent the whole way through. I'm going to put a pace on him. I'm going to set the tone with a lot of punches and heavy moments, and his is a slower style build-up. So his energy is going to be, I'm not going to come here and say, I practice on my energy. I'm going to you can't out crazy a lunatic. Disaster's a lunatic. And I'm not going to be able to match that because he's insane. Anyone that knows him, Disaster is actually insane, and I love him, but I also love to kill him in a battle. So I got to recognize my strong points, my weaknesses, and I feel Disaster sometimes, although he is a strategic battler, he focuses on his opponents, but he's not always self-aware of what ruins his battles, and he may go longer than needed in certain battles, like him in SoCon, he lost the crowd, right? So I think I'm just going to take all the steps necessary to secure the victory.
Honestly, I'm proud of you. That's it. That's all I got to say. I'm proud of you and do your best. I'm going to do what I always do, you know what I mean? And you're definitely going to get the version of me that you've been begging for, so here it is. We're going to see what you're going to do with it.
You're going to get hit with the graveyard.
Pagkas ng alauna, alas 8. Itang ina mabigay talaga ng schedule ito mga demonyo. Yun, tumutuloy yung dalawa. Akala ko hindi tumuloy. Salamat naman at pinapasok sila.
Grudge matches in King of the Dot history. I want to shout out the main event sponsor, Lord Wolf. They are the reason this battle is going down. So shout out to Lord Wolf and everyone makes some noise for Lord Wolf. Hell yeah. My co-host. Yeah, Billy TK. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Recipe Bishop, Recipe Times 10. Let's get it. Bishop R.P. Bugante. Recipe to my pops, man. The Toronto, take that fucking mirror down. Former King of the Dot champion. Battle of two-bar fight. Introduce yourself. And Toronto! Damn, it feels good to be back. R.P. Bishop, Crap City. That's all I gotta say. Battle to my left. Introduce yourself. You should have kept ducking, pussy. I'm not tipping. You should have kept ducking, pussy. I'm not 17. What you just said was basic. I was just happy to meet you and get an invitation. Now you're 40 years old and need to be 40 deep for an instigation. Hey, yo,
It'd be a shame.
go ahead and do your invitation. The point